Welcome to the promotional video for Wild and Wicked Ways, the first book in the world of Touch of Grey. I'm Leia Howard. The world of Touch of Grey is stories set in the same world as the Touch of Grey books, but they are focused on characters, on Psycept characters other than the main character of Touch of Grey, Grey Graham. In the case of Wild and Wicked Ways, this will fall under the Wendy Weather series, which focuses on Wednesday Randolph, or Wendy, and she is a Psycept, she's a PsyWitch, and best friend of Grey. So we will first discuss how this story was set up in Invisible Touch, which is the second book of the Touch of Grey series, and then we will talk about the particulars of this story. Within the video description, there are links to purchase the book, as well as links to the website and my Twitter in case you would like to get a hold of me, as well as the book description. And again, I do know that this is not a sophisticated video. This is for informational and promotional purposes, so I hope you enjoy the content of this video and feel free to like the video. And now for where we left off in Invisible Touch. In Invisible Touch, Wendy was called to Pennsylvania on an urgent medical task to heal several children who were stricken with a mysterious illness. She was able to heal them, but when she returned in Invisible Touch, she said that the area of the forest where they presumably were attacked in, she felt kind of off about the area. She felt a sense of malice, perhaps, and she wanted to investigate it further. In addition, at the end of Invisible Touch, Grey and her siblings, her brother Kai and her sister Tommy, they were able to provide additional information to Wendy for her to use with her investigation. She is determined to return to Pennsylvania with additional Psycept resources, so more people to take with her to take care of the darkness, because it's not just an illness that she sensed in the children. It was also the land, the water, the animals. She just felt something off, so she wanted to bring more Psycepts with her than just a PsyWitch, which she's more well versed in human healing. So she wanted other Psycepts that were focused on animals, on plants, perhaps the weather, that sort of thing, so she can get a better sense of what's going on. So that sets us up for Wild and Wicked Ways, which Wendy and her posse return to Pennsylvania. With Wild and Wicked Ways, we get to explore other Psycept abilities. With this, it takes place about 6 weeks after Invisible Touch. And there is a delay with Wendy returning to Pennsylvania for a couple of reasons. The first of which is Wendy is now one of the council members for the Psycept Council, and that was set up in Invisible Touch. And Wendy had to participate in the transitional period between the old council and her new council, so she just wasn't able to gather her fellow Psycepts to go with her to Pennsylvania prior to now. In addition, the weather has worsened in Pennsylvania, so that necessitated some additional people to be added to the party. So right now, the party is fairly large. It includes 2 police officers, one of which is her twin brother, Sergeant Sully Randolph. And of course, from Out of Touch and the Touch of Grey series, we know that Sully is one of the police detectives that Grey is most used to interacting with. So we get to explore another side of Sully, not so much the police sergeant, but the twin brother of Wendy. And some Psycepts that were mentioned in previous books are Maddie. She is a flora Psysapient, which she interacts with plants, trees, flowers. And then we have Tiwa. He is not designated as a Psycept, but he is a mentor to various fauna Psysapients. And fauna Psysapients are like animal husbandry or veterinary sciences. They interact with the animal world. And Tiwa's there to interact with the forest's animals. In addition, we have Tico and Libby McGilvery. The McGilvery siblings were introduced in Invisible Touch, so from that we know that Tico is a bone sage and Libby is a blood sage. Now, two new characters for this: character by the name of Vito Mata. He was briefly mentioned in Invisible Touch. He is also one of the new Psycept council members, just like Wendy is, but we didn't really, other than his name, he wasn't really mentioned. And then we have Diego Escudero. He is a weather guide, and he is a very important character in this because this is called the Wendy Weather series, so we'll talk about that in a moment. So pretty much once they arrive, the case turns from what they were initially set out to do, which was a medical and an animal plant kind of mystery, to a possible murder investigation because there is a discovery of a deceased body in the forest. So it has escalated. With this story, we get to explore more of Wendy's PsyWitch healing abilities, but really we get more involved with her Vodun priestess training, and Sully plays a part in that. They learned it from their grandmother, so Wendy is a priestess and Sully was raised as her assistant. With the other characters involved in the investigation, with the other Psycepts, we get to learn more about bone sages, and Vito is an Azamatois, which is an astral projectionist, and with him, Azamatois work well with bone sages. They actually are able to interact with the unquiet dead to lay them to rest. And then Libby is helping with her blood sage abilities. She originally was there to investigate the illness from the children, but she's also able to help with the deceased body investigation. So Diego, as I stated, is going to be a large part of the Wendy Weather series. He is a weather guide, so he is actually the weather part. So future Wendy Weather books will have the two of them, Wendy and Diego, and they're going to be looking into supernatural occurrences, whether it be healing, whether it be environmental, that sort of thing. That's what the two of them are going to do going forward. Now, there is not going to be another Wendy Weather book for a couple of years. The reason being is that the world of Touch of Grey is multiple different Psycept characters kind of in tandem or interwoven into the main Touch of Grey stories. So upcoming World of Touch of Grey stories delve into different characters. The next book that will be published will be in May of 2020, and it is going to be a Touch of Grey. It's going to be Touch of Grey book 3 called Touch Too Much. And then later this year, in the fall of 2020, there will be another World of Touch of Grey short story, and it will involve, like I said, it will involve different Psycept characters that we have already been introduced to. More about that book closer to the publication date. So for now, hopefully this glimpse into wild and wicked ways and the world of Touch of Grey, specifically Wendy Weather, has intrigued you. If you like the content of the video, please like. In the video description will be links to purchase the book, as well as links to my website and my Twitter in case you want to contact me. So for now, enjoy and happy reading!